I'm Trey Blackman, and Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction is Jesus Christ. Here's why. Now, the first parallel between Vincent Vega and Jesus is his death and resurrection, obviously. So in the movie, and this is a spoiler alert, you'll recall that Vincent dies in the middle of the story. Butch kills him. However, if you think through God's eyes, through Tarantino's eyes, he springs back to life. Hallelujah. So, in actual time, he stays dead. But in the story, to the viewer, he comes back to life. And he looks like Jesus. He does. White skin and long black hair. He doesn't have a beard, but, you know. There are a lot of conversations, mostly between Jules and Vincent, that are very symbolic. The first one is the foot massage conversation. It happens right at the beginning of the movie. And Vincent says foot massages are very sensual and important. And Jules says, no, they're not the same as sex, they're not anywhere near the same as sex. Jesus had a big thing with washing feet. Vincent even says, I'm kind of tired right now, I could use a foot massage. So, yeah, that's a big parallel with Jesus. Also, Jules adopts the Old Testament philosophy. He says the Holy of Holies, it's not the same as oral sex, or the Holy of Holies he talks about. And the Holy of Holies was the innermost part of the temple, the Hebrew temple, where only the priests could go, and God showed up. Another conversation is the pork conversation at the end. They're in the diner, and Jules says he doesn't eat pork. And Vincent says, well, pork chops taste good, and bacon tastes good, which is, in the New Testament, again, Jules takes the Old Testament. Jules says that he wants to walk the earth like Cain from Kung Fu, but also we know Cain from the Bible. In the bathroom at Mia's house, they've just come back from the date. Vincent is in the bathroom trying to talk himself down from trying anything with Mia. And he says, this is a test of loyalty. And loyalty is very important, he says. In the car, after, at Quentin Tarantino's house, when he's just killed the kid and he and Jules are cleaning out the car of all the blood and stuff. And Jules is giving him a really hard time. Vincent says, Jules, did you ever hear the philosophy that once a man admits that he's wrong, he is immediately forgiven for all wrongdoings? Have you ever heard that? That's straight Jesus. Straight Jesus. It just is. So, in the beginning killing scene, they've just had the foot massage conversation. Jules has just said the Holy of Holies. So, this scene represents the temple. And I'll explain. So they go in. Jules, it's a subtle thing, but Jules motions for the kid sitting on the couch to put his feet up with his gun. So I think, well, I'll tell you later. So Jules stays in the living room, and Vincent goes back into the kitchen. Jules eats the hamburger, and he says, "Vincent, do you want any?" And Vincent says, "No, I'm not hungry." And other than that, he doesn't speak. Jules does all the speaking. So Jules asks, where is the case? The case is the thing they've come to look for. And the kid says, in the cupboard. So Vincent walks over to the cupboard and opens it, and he says, "No, the one by your knees." So Vincent has to kneel to get the cupboard from the Holy of Holies, I think. And there's a lot of other scene there and a lot more that can be done, but for the sake of the shortness of the video, I don't think I'll do it. So, in the scene with Mia, Vincent gets to her house. Mia has left a note. It says, "Make a drink. I'll be down in a minute." So he goes in, and he never makes the drink. Is that sort of like how he didn't eat? I think that Mia's house is also like a church or a temple. So he goes in, it's all white, and Mia is in the attic, and she calls down to him through the intercom. She is barefoot. She does cocaine, which is also white. She says, "I'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail." Now, in the end, Vincent has to stab her with the needle. Is she the lamb? She's a sacrificial lamb of some sort. But that makes her like Lot in the story of Abraham. But in the story of Abraham, he ended up not stabbing. But when Vincent stabs, he receives Mia back like Abraham received Lot back. So in a way, Mia is the sacrificial lamb, and Vincent is Abraham, but also in a way, Mia is Jesus too. She comes back to life also. Mia and Vincent are counterparts. They are dressed very similarly. She has black pants and a white shirt. They have the same hair, and they both do white powdery drugs. It's hard to say. It's hard to say whether, one or the other, but it's a big tangle of symbolism. And I think it's all valid. So, in the end, the robbery. The 2 people rob the store, and the guy comes and takes Jules' wallet. And then he says, "Give me that case." And Jules says, "I can't," or "No." So he opens the case, and Jules doesn't look inside of the case with the light. The robber does. The sinner looks. And he says, "Oh, it's beautiful." So Jules grabs him and gets him and does the speech with the Bible verse. Now he asks, I used to think that I was the shepherd and you would be the lost sheep. He says, "I didn't even know what it meant. I just thought it was something cool to say." But now he's really trying. He's trying to apply the Bible verse to the characters in his life, just like Tarantino does to the characters in the story. I think it's a very valid parallel. And at the end, the robber goes free. Jules says, "I'm really trying to be the shepherd." And he forgives him. And the sinner, whose soul has been redeemed, goes out with all the money. And forgiven. And he saw the case. Jules didn't even look at the case. There's a lot here, and there's a lot that I didn't get to. But comment, tell me what you think. Peace out.